the ball were you more impressed with?
Well, those are good words to use to describe what I played. I've never done it in a long time. You know what? I was impressed on both ends. I thought we moved the ball well. We had a few lapses defensively, but I thought we didn't allow them to compound, and so that was good for us.
Talk about how impressive Olu's performance was tonight.
Yeah, well, it was back a little bit. It took him a while to get his legs and kind of get going. He's a little old, right, Olu, back there, but that's what he's done for 18 years, right? That's why he's played so long professionally. So yeah, he was impressive. That's Olu. That's why he's here.
Having 4 players that got double digits, including 2 with over 20 points, how does that speak to you guys passing the ball around within the team?
We had 23 assists, right? It's been a pretty big emphasis for us to get the ball moving and to make defenses guard multiple actions before we get even more aggressive than we want to be. And we did a really good job, I thought, overall doing that.
And Michael Bryson had 25 points, which was a game high. What can you say about his game?
About Michael Bryson? I don't want to say too much because he's standing right there, but he's a pro basketball player. And I always say that about these guys. He's a really high-level basketball player, shoots the ball really well, brings great energy, he's a great teammate. There's a lot to say about his game, right? He brings it. He didn't have a great one the night before, and he just bounced back and had a great one tonight. And that's what really high-level basketball players do, and that's what they're expected to do. Right? You're going to play great every night, but it's the question is, what do you do next? How do you bounce back? How do you continue to improve? And this young man's continuing to do that.
Coach, congrats on the win. Any update on Barber on the injury he suffered tonight?
Not really. Sounds like a really bad bruise. I don't know too much more than that, but I think Cat's been getting bumped around all year. I'm actually in combat gear. He gets bumped around quite a bit. I was a little disappointed especially after watching it again after the game, the lack of fill in the blank. But I was a little disappointed with it. I'm a lot disappointed with it, but it's been like that for him all year and a lot for us, but for him in particular, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think he gets calls. I'm not sure why or what it is, or just doesn't get the same calls every other really good player in this league gets.
And this is obviously your 3rd game against Ottawa this year. You split twice too, but you managed to have a nail biter. What kind of things were you able to do this time around to get such a dominant win?
Really try to take the ball a little bit out of Ward's hands. I don't know what he ended up with or how he ended up doing, but I thought we did a pretty decent job there. I thought we rebounded the ball well. I thought we made them guard multiple actions, or at least side to side a little bit more, which is important for us in terms of how we want to play. I just thought we were pretty steady. When they made a run, we responded. We made some runs and didn't let them come back. I thought we were pretty steady on both ends.
And Weber and Hill have obviously carried the offense for most of the year for you guys. How big is it to get someone like Bryson join the team, help you in this late playoff stretch?
It's huge. That's why he's here. He brought in to shoot the ball and score the basketball. You haven't seen him all year, but that's what he does, right? For those that don't know Michael Bryson, welcome. This is what he does. It's new to us maybe in this league, but this is what he's been capable of his whole career, and it's why he's going to be a long-time professional basketball.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Michael, so what's it been like joining the team? How's it been fitting in?
It's been smooth. It's been a really easy transition. You go to a lot of teams and there's a lot of egos that you're trying to fight with. You come in and you're trying to set what you do and you're trying to see what everybody else does. But between the players, the staff, and even obviously the front office have come down and they've really made this a very welcoming experience.
With the quick turnaround and you guys playing them again on Friday there, what are some of the things you guys will be looking to replicate in your next game?
To replicate, definitely our intensity. I think when we come out and we play hard, we come and we obviously know what we're doing. We come on the offensive end and we look to attack, and on the defensive end we look to obviously make our principles stand through. But You know, it's going to be about energy. It's about, you know, back-to-backs like this where, you know, we have to travel tomorrow and then play the next day. It's just about energy, really. I mean, shots are going to fall. You know, defense, you got to stay in your position. But as long as we come out with energy, I think we'll be okay.
So you led the game with 25 points. How comfortable did you feel out there? And what's one part of your game that you might have thought that you could have improved on tonight?
I took a lot of shots. I like to make more. That's the way to improve. Like I said, though, for me, it's just the team has made it super simple. I've come in and, you know, Kissy has made it. He did a great interview just now. He obviously pumps me up, but he is like that behind the scenes as well. If I miss a shot, there's no question as to whether or not I'm supposed to shoot the next one. Whether that's him, whether that's the last guy in the bench, they're all telling me the exact same thing. It's the right shot. So that's something that as a shooter, there's nothing that can really bother you. You know that the shot you put up is the right shot.
You like how your team reacted after
How when Kai carried? Yeah. I mean, obviously we got a tech. That's necessary. Our coach obviously told us to sit down. He was taking it to his hand. We made, you know, our cry for a call. We didn't get it. And after that, it's about how you respond. You know, injuries like that can really either set you down, and now you're kind of playing timid, or you really take, you know, the ball into your hands and you attack. And I think obviously in the second half we were able to take that injury and we were able to, you know, come off ahead and attack in the second half, and obviously it stretch out the game.
And you obviously didn't have Kel today, and Capo went down only in the half. How much pressure do you feel to kind of step up in those situations, and how do you deal with that?
I don't think it's pressure. Basketball is such a fun sport. And those opportunities, that's what it is to me. It's an opportunity. I love this game. I love playing. I love the opportunities to be able to show what you do. You know, Hill doesn't come on the trip, obviously, and that hurts. He's a big scorer for a solid piece, one of the solid pieces we have on our team. Barber goes down, obviously that's a huge, you know, pace disruptor for us, because now we have to have a backup point guard come in and we have to have second guys controlling the ball. For us, we just all stepped up. Every guy on the bench knew today was going to be one of those games where you play 1 minute, you have to make utilization of those minutes, and I think that we were able to do it, obviously, by the second half.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll start. So, just 5 games into your season, how do you think you've been able to find such a rhythm already on the court?
Just the team chemistry, the way we were moving the ball, and you know, my teammates and the coaches, they've been putting me in great positions to score, so I was able to get
2 points in the first half, 20 in the second half. What changed at halftime for you?
I knew I was going to get my shots. I knew as long as we were moving the ball, from side to side, they would eventually help on the wrong swing, and you know, I was able to get all the shots. My teammates trust me, and the coach drew some perfect plays to have me executed well.
You had 22 points, including 6 for 8 from 3. How comfortable did you feel beyond the arc?
I mean, I knew once I hit my first 3, that was it. You know, and my teammates also knew that. So once I hit my first 3, hit my second, you know, they just kept coming to me. So.
And does having a big game like this kind of make it easier going down the stretch, knowing that you can?
Yeah, it helps us a lot, confidence-wise. I think as long as we're playing the game we want towards the end of the season, I feel that we're going to do well in the playoffs.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Tough loss. Just kind of your general thoughts on the game.
Just didn't play hard enough. I mean, we were still in the game at halftime. I think we probably were getting just as good looks as they were getting, if not better. We just didn't make them in the first half, and you know, you're down 6, you're still right there, and you're thinking that this thing will turn around in the second half, and it actually did, but not the way we wanted to. And I think, you know, sometimes when a team is without a few key members, like they were without Ahmed Hill, and then Kent Barber went down, that was actually probably the worst thing that could happen to us, because I think it played in our, you know, in our psyche that, you know, they didn't have their guys, and you know, we're going to turn it around and we're going to end up winning it, and we just didn't make the efforts to do it. So we kept losing 50-50 balls and giving up offensive rebounds, and you know, I think a lot of possessions too came down to the final 7-8 seconds of the shot clock, where that final effort was always won by Guelph. So you play decent for 15 seconds, but anytime they try to get what they want, you know, they get it or they don't get it, but they get the offensive rebound after it. So I don't think we showed up with the right sense of purpose tonight. That includes all of us, and we just need to throw that one down the garbage and get better for the next game in 48 hours.
And with such quick turnaround, what kind of adjustments do you have to make?
Just play harder, honestly. I don't think anything that happened tonight is due to, the game plan or stuff like that. And not that I don't take ownership. Sometimes it's just a matter of being ready to execute. And I think it's all of us. It's maybe it's the way we deliver the message, or it's them not understanding the message but not playing hard enough to execute it. But I think it's kind of the same trap we fell into early in the Saskatchewan game, where you kind of think that things are going to take care of themselves, and they don't. Not at this level. You have guys that haven't played much, like Olu hasn't played much all year. Well, he's good enough to drop 22 points on you if you don't play hard enough and you don't run him off the three-point line and you let him go off. And same for TJ Law. And so if you don't execute what you have to execute to take them away from it, any game plan won't work. So at the end of the day, it's more about us not doing what we had to do, and it takes a lot more energy than we put out there tonight.
Having not played since the 26th, do you think that any sort of rust had to do with your team kind of coming out a little bit flat compared to, say, Guelph playing August 1st, just a few days ago?
It's hard to say, honestly. We kind of needed that rest too, because we were starting to be a little banged up and tired after the road trip coming into the Saskatchewan game here. So it's hard to say. Maybe we lost a little bit of that rhythm. It's a part of the year where Nick was hurt most of the week, so we didn't really practice with him until yesterday. So you don't really look like yourself in practice. Also have 30% of the roster, which is new players, so you have to integrate them as well. Still finding our marks, because we keep referring back to that Edmonton game, which is our best game this season, and that win. But this is a very different team from the one we had 3 weeks ago. So we thought we would be able to withstand that and be better tonight, and we weren't. And I think, like it often happens, a lot of guys on their team that had their opportunity to show what they're still able to do in this league, well, they took that opportunity tonight, and we just didn't respond well. So I think it was more that than the actual rust.
And Tyrell had 15 points, including going 4 for 8 from the three-point line. What can you speak on his game, even with the loss?
Well, he's made a bunch of shots in the second half to kind of keep us within striking distance for a little while. We have a bunch of guys that can make plays. We know that, but we need all of them to show up on the same night. And it's like I said, it's not just on them. It's on where coaches were included in this. I thought Tyrell played good in the second half, and we need to build off and carve out some wins with the performances like that he had tonight.
Final home game of the season and sellout tonight. Obviously limited numbers allowed in the stadium, but just speak to maybe building towards what you expect for next year and beyond in Ottawa and basketball.
Well, I think we're building something really nice here, starting with the city and the overall organization, and where we play and practice here in Lansdowne. I think it's a fantastic setup to start off, and there's a much longer plan than just the wins and losses of this year, especially when you start as a new coaching staff with a new group of players. Obviously, you throw a lot of things on the wall, and some of it will stick and some of it won't. But you don't have the luxury of a training camp and a preseason to play 4 or 5 games to try to figure it out. And there's a lot of roster turnover in this league too. So you're going through that, and then I think as we move on to next year, we get some building blocks that we can start off from, and just keep building it game after game and year after year. And I think there's a lot of good things to be done here. And I think the fans have responded really well so far. Every game's selling out, and I think we can look forward to successful nights here at TD Place, and hopefully we don't turn them off with performances like the one we did tonight. Ouais, je pense que c'est une situation où tu prends ce match-là, tu le mets aux poubelles, puis tu t'en repars un autre. Je veux dire, concrètement, on était dans ce match-là, on était à 2 possessions près à la mi-temps, puis on n'était pas particulièrement adroit, on n'était pas beaucoup de lancers non plus. On obtenait des choses qu'on voulait, mais ça donnait pas grand-chose en bout de ligne. Mais comme je dis, il n'y avait pas ce sentiment d'urgence-là dès le début du match. Puis je pense qu'on est un peu revenu à case départ, un peu avec cette nouvelle équipe-là, entre guillemets, avec sans mettre ça sur le dos des nouveaux joueurs, mais juste la vibe de l'équipe, c'est pas tout à fait les mêmes joueurs. Puis comme si tu oublies qu'en fait la base de ça, c'est de jouer très très fort. Puis à partir du moment où tu joues très fort, tu vas te donner une chance de gagner, puis tu fais les ajustements nécessaires qui font les petites différences à gauche et à droite. Mais si tu n'as pas cette essence-là, à la base, c'est complexe. Donc, il faut juste prendre cette leçon-là puis amener beaucoup plus de gaz et d'énergie au match à Guelph. Thank you.